That's I'm gone.
It's
No, read.
they're short, so
Yeah, they're
well,
nice and
yeah,
short.
we can't just start reading. People aren't
Yeah, we
tuned
can.
in
We can
like,
do
oh,
anything we want to do. It's
Hey, I
our
know you're
show.
hard,
We can
hard
do
right
anything.
in the middle of it. Catch up, will you?
What do you think this is? Canada? No, we can do anything we want to do. This is our show. I'm checking the shelf behind me. I was trying to make sure none of my friends left anything illegal up there.
Ooh, okay. Right. Illegal in that part of the country.
Illegal.
Are you kidding? I took all mine with me. Hell no.
It's like, oh, darn, nobody left any. No, they left me prunes, though, Christine. They let me prunes are safe and effective.
Yeah, I know for what.
All right. Sounds like you guys are doing good today. This is definitely an off day. So who knows?
Let me think we do it short and nicely and why do you say short? Good summarized. Nicely, I would say, nicely brought, short, and summarized. Like we never do.
Yeah. So today we are gonna have to try to end on time best we can, because as Keith Dreams just pointed out, I'm fighting cows. I got home and there were like 12 of them inside the fence line, and I didn't sign up to be no damn cowboy. Tired of chasing cows. I got to finish the fence today.
Not just
I'm
any
almost
cows.
done.
Invite some cowboys and you can do some barbecue and they will be happy.
No, Christine, when they come down, they bring beer and guns and they don't want to do barbecue. Well, no, actually they do want to do barbecue after they shoot everything that they can. So yeah, cowboys in Texas, a little special. Huh?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like it's really the Wild West out there.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's no joke.
But to clarify, it's fun mostly when other people are around. When it's just you, it's interesting.
Scary.
It's explorative. You enjoy your time most of the time.
Going to the bathroom at 3:00 was scary. It was so dark. It was
Take your rifle with you.
It was so dark, and I was so torn because I kept looking up, but I kept being scared that there was coyotes because I wanted to see this. I was like, I gotta go in. I was gonna wake you guys up, but just like.
And in my defense, I told Susan, stay in the greenhouse if you got to do your business and it's late at night. But Susan doesn't have any fear, so she wanted to go outside. The day after we found out there's jaguar in the area. Yeah. So third largest cat in the world.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little reading today. Ancient knowledge.
Yeah.
Not West Texas knowledge.
Nope.
Maybe we could learn more about that. I bought a book about West Texas, how to fight a drought and create wait, this one I will show.
It was a part of the Dust Bowl area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Try to explain to people that this isn't a real desert, and unfortunately, we're largely ignorant. We have no idea about our planet. Four Winds by Christian Hanna.
Nice.
How they survived.
Why does that sound like ancient?
Ancient
Why
Texas
does that sound
knowledge.
like ancient knowledge?
Ancient Texas knowledge. How to survive in Texas in a drought. With women and men die again. Always I read book when men die. It's always the women who survive.
Well, we're supposed to go first. That's why our brains are smaller. We're supposed to put our brawn first and let the genetics with the bigger brains carry further.
Yeah, it's true. It's most of the time women survive and men always die. Yeah, anyhow.
We're the ones with the bullets and the beer and the man challenges. I'm more of a man than you. I can get closer to the javelina than John. Damn it.
I'm not gonna fight javelinas. I'm surely not gonna fight. I know I would do what I would do. Yeah, that's women. They know their kind of common sense. Okay, let the men do. But then you have to be. Yeah, we have to watch the man. Actually, most of the time they have to watch the man. I can see that.
Only if y'all want to keep us around. When you get sick of us, don't watch us, and natural selection will take its course.
Yeah, it always does. Anyhow.
Okay, so what are we reading today? Right. No, tell me about that book real quick, Christine, because you showed it to us. Tempest, tell us about it.
This book, yeah, but it's Texas 1934. Elsa Martinelli has finally found, she has a life with a family in a home on a farm, then at Great Plains. It was still then. But the drought is threatening her community, which she would love to stay in. But so all the drought gets worse and worse and worse. And in that dark spirit of the Great Depression, you have the dust balls. And you know that, how do you call those? Rolling tumbleweed and things like that.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Families are fighting to keep their land and their livelihood. And she and her husband dies, and she has to find a way to survive with her daughter. That's all. I don't know how it ends, but yeah, it's a kind of based roman, but on true story too. I mean, it's always this roman because they have a little bit information, but they make a nice book of it. I will tell it. I read very quick, so within next Monday, it's finished. So because they will tell really what they do at that time and how they survived, and that's interesting because we can learn from it.
Willa Cather is also a great author. She wrote O Pioneers and My Antonia. Those are both novels set in Nebraska, in the Great Plains area, in the 19th century. They're fantastic.
I love those books. I love actually the books from the brave people in the pioneer time. They're very beautiful written, very strong personalities.
They're really
ethic and very moral most of the time because they get the strength because out of that, and that's why our society is so weak.
Strong people.
I think because our morals are dying or decaying, so we become weak personalities, so easy to manipulate, so easy to brainwash. Yes. Because if you have your strong morals, because that's how in Amazing Grace, it's very nice to see. So people who really stand and survive, they have their ethics from inside, and they don't give in. They might be tortured, and of course they suffer. Every good people, most people, they suffer, they get tortured. But they survive and they bring better. It's always like that. And I think this time it will be the same. Doesn't matter in which time it is, but people with strong ethics, strong morals, and the responsibility to care for a community, they do. They bring a lot of good. And that is what we should do. That's our task, actually, and nothing else. So. And don't give in. I mean, I like it. It gives me actually it lifts my spirit up, and I love that. So
never retreat, never surrender.
Right.
Don't give in.
Right. I was thinking of reading the section in the Hermetica on the Zodiac and Destiny, if that's all right with you guys. It's a really, really interesting chapter.
It's good. Yeah, I like that.
Speaking of Zodiac, because it kind of leads to also, why do people lie? Like, okay, I know why people lie, right? Because it's a consequence for facing the truth, right? But why do people lie to be
out of fear too?
Okay, why do people lie for no fucking reason? That's what I don't understand. Okay, because there's this like going around, everybody sharing it, like. So first of all, it's like the Pluto Return of America is on 2, right? So it's like, and it's really pissing me off, right? Because it's like, first of all, it's been at 27 degrees for over a month. Secondly, it was at exact 27 degrees and 32 minutes, like 3 days ago. So if you're really into astrology and telling the truth that you're making this thing, then why do you have to make it on 22222 to make it more dramatic?
It's the dark. No, you know why? That is the dark forces. They have their rituals. So this day actually seems to be a day where those dark forces have their rituals, and that's why they make the day too. But I was actually, like you said, you're right, and we should not give into that.
I know, right? And it really pissed me off because I'm like, why are these people lying for no reason? There's like no reason to lie about that. There's no reason to make it up. Besides being cool, drama, or I guess you're creating black magic spells because you're a matrix slave. It really, really bothered me.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
I make it for a good reason.
Yeah, they lied for a good reason. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure to liars, there's always a good reason to lie. I'm pretty sure there's always a gain from it, even if it's just the attention of having their mouth running at the moment and everyone in the room listening. There's always something they gain from it.
Oh, and then wait. And at the end, it's like, Pluto means destruction, rebirth, whatever. And then it says the fall of Rome when Pluto returns. Okay, wait. Which Rome? The Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire that followed that, the Western Empire that followed that, the Eastern Empire that followed that. Which Roman Empire? Because it fell in like 400, 800, 1453. Which one?
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
That really triggered me.
The Roman Empire never fell. That's a lie. It's completely a lie. Because the power behind the imperialism, those families, those coffers, that gold, it just broke apart and went to different sections of the world, different countries, rebuilt, reconsolidated, made new empires. And the power behind Rome never ended. In fact, right now, it's in the United States. Some of it is in Russia. Some of it is in China. But the beginning of imperialism, that was really largely the first step in that direction. That power has never really been destroyed. It just keeps changing shape and moving forward and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why I love the analogies of modern Rome and today. It never fell. Yeah. We are the Romans. We are from barbarian tribes all over the planet, hundreds of millions of tribes, and we're the sellouts. Our ancestors are all turning over in their grave. They all can't stand us at all because we all embrace those who enslaved all of them, killed, raped, murdered, looted. Stole their lands, dragged us to different parts of the earth, and we all embrace their system and we fight to keep it. We don't want the truckers to win. No, we don't want any kind of human sovereignty and freedom, but we still want the corporations behind all of slavery and all of colonization to continue.
I was shocked today. No, I don't like those truckers. No, it is not good that they are there. I was really shocked that people say that. I was angry. I was so angry. I say, okay, I hope I hope you get run over by a truck. That's what I hope. All those people who are against truckers. Yeah. Again,
people, they love their slavery. I mean, slaves who don't know they're slaves, that's just normal life to them. They don't understand that they've been enslaved. Harriet Tubman, once again, she said, I freed thousands of slaves and I could have freed thousands of more if only they knew they were slaves. And right now in the modern world, these people think that they're free, serving corporations, literally being slaves to corporations, which is what we are. The analogy on slavery is a mandate. And that's never stopped. Slavery is just different types of mandates. Either, a corporation realize how it can make the maximum profit. Either that's with you picking its cotton, you taking rubber out the trees for its tires, or you being a guinea pig for its drugs, right? Slavery never ended. It's just a mandate. So, Christine, I try not to get upset. I just look at people and I really feel sorry for people with those slave minds.
Yeah, me too. Then I try to read books to get my mind out of it. I need really good books with people who are uplifting, who are brave, because otherwise it makes me really it boils my blood sometimes. I think, oh my God, Christine, calm down, because that's what I want.
So I am going to make a conflicting statement. So,
that's literally why we're here. It's all we do.
Okay.
Yeah, you notice when all shit is about to break loose, it usually comes from that corner of the Hollywood Squares.
The reptilians did it, and they eat babies. Christine,
that's the whole point. That's
Christine,
like,
Christine, I gotta tell you, I have heard that line about 8,000 times in the last 2 weeks. No matter what, hey Jonathan, what are we waiting for dinner? Let's honor. Let's do a campfire, do some s'mores or something. You know where s'mores came from? The reptilians, and they eat babies.
I told him I do it to the people at work. I'll be like, they'll be like, yeah, well, all politicians are corrupt. I'm like, and they eat babies. And then that's how I
She is not lying.
Like,
no, this is not an exaggeration at all.
This is not. You could be in the grocery store, you could be in the bank, you could be in public. It does not matter. Susan can tell you somebody ate some babies. She gonna let you know they was eating babies. No matter who's in the room, they need to know this.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, so this is my unpopular opinion, right? Because people take it the wrong way. Okay. I'm not like, oh, bad truckers. Okay. I'm not. We need to move beyond protests. That's what I have.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm with you with that. Yeah.
And like, do I feel like most of the people there with good intentions in their heart and really spirits and stuff? Yes. And am I standing with that? 100%. We need that unity, right? But like, okay, we made 10 million. We raised 10 million for the truckers or something, right?
It's stolen.
Right. But what if we raised $10 million and bought farmland or paid off the subsidies to the farmers who are being threatened to burn their crops, and we would have had the trucks to transport it, and that would have made a statement. That would have told the government, holy shit, the people are serious. You know what I mean? Like we made $90 million for BLM. What city got fixed?
90 million. It's shameful. It's shameful.
What school got better? Like
they don't do anything.
No, they destroyed buildings. They burned them.
Right.
They destroyed property. That's what they did.
And they don't confiscate their accounts. That's okay. You can keep your money, but no, not you. You give money to a homeless people and they will put you in jail.
Yeah.
But my point is,
and because right now
the protesters are just validating that our freedom comes from the government. That's bullshit. And that's what we say. We don't understand the concept of freedom, okay? Because freedom, you don't ask anybody for that shit. Nobody. You don't beg anyone for it. So we need to move so beyond the protest phase that, that's all I'm saying.
Can I say something? I want to say something real quick because we just glassed right over that BLM thing, and I know there's somebody in the room right now. What are you gonna say? Let him say something. The Brown Square.
Sorry, I'm keeping the black.
So I hate to, and I'm gonna say my unpopular thing now. Black Lives Matter. The reason they were giving that $100 million worked. They were giving that $100 million to increase racism, and it did. It was not to help people. It was not to help No Lives Matter. It was to increase racism, and it did. It made a lot of people who were on the fringe of hating a race hate a race. It made a lot of people who were sympathetic to a plight hate the plight, but. In my role of being controversial in every way possible, I will also say that though I have no interest in the Black Lives Matter movement, it isn't too far philosophically with some minor changes from the trucker movement, right? It wasn't peaceful, but there were people who were taking a gripe to a government that was not listening. It was identity focused, which means it was absolutely going to fail. Anything you do with an identity attached is going to be some bullshizzle, right? It supports Rome more than anything else. But the way they blocked streets, are the same way the truckers block the street. And I'm 100%.
Yeah, but they were really violent. They were really violent. I mean, they killed people, and it was okay.
That's true. That's true. And they gave a lot of young people prison records. But the only difference, again, is that with BLM, they screwed up because they had an identity attached to their movement. And the government picked them for one particular reason, right? These people don't own trucks. These people have nothing. And when you don't have anything, you have nothing to lose. Violence is more of an option than it is for people who have a trucking business or something to lose. So when I look at things, I try to look at them from an economic perspective, you know, and mostly BLM, it was the kids, right? I don't blame them, right? They're doing what they see the ignorant adults teaching them. Like, I mean, you got CRT in schools that are teaching them to hate, right? They're literally teaching hate. And so young people are doing what they trust that the adults in their world aren't lying to them, but the adults in their world.
Palestine and Jerusalem, they teach hate too.
If it weren't for the economic injustice, the systemic economic injustice and the trauma caused by that in real people's lives, they would not be able to influence and lie to those rank and file members of BLM and get them to hate. They would not be able to do that.
But you don't think that whole thing was government infiltrated?
I think it was.
No. It was not. It was no. Stop it. Stop it. No, Susan. No. BLM was not government infiltrated. It was the government from the very beginning. It was not infiltrated. The whole thing was support of Rome. It was government money. It was on every TV show. Everybody watched it. The government did not have to infiltrate BLM. It was all government. Susan, stop it. Susan, let me finish.
Because you put,
and they eat babies, Susan. Susan, they eat babies.
You pointed out it being on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing, right? Remember Kazakhstan 2 months ago? Holy shit, there's actual revolution going on, and then boom, nothing. We haven't heard shit from them for 2 months, right?
Right.
Because the real revolution will not be televised. We like to say it because it's cool, but it's real, okay? So any revolution on TV, on mainstream news, everybody talking about it, ain't a real revolution.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's from
and did you know the White Russia? Did you know how much the fight there was? It's not televised either. The people were the same. They were trampled by the government. They were teared apart. They were as violent as with the horses, like in Canada. As violent. That's White Russia. Nobody hears from it. It's terrible. It's terrible there. And never.
I'm agree with Mark, and you can't see from Mark's picture, but he has brown skin too, and he's making a statement there, which is important. And so, at the end of the day, the leaders, some of the leaders, at least one of them, Black Lives Matter, ended up with multi-million-dollar homes, and all the people who got prison records, killed, fought with police, and are still in prison, they all went back to impoverished lifestyles. And government did absolutely nothing. They changed no laws and did nothing. And that's the evidence behind it. It was all some bullshizzle from Rome, which is on the point, is what Susan said, which is if it's on TV and it's popular, Rome embraces it. If Hollywood is behind it, Rome embraces it. And this is why you don't see many people from Hollywood saying anything about the truckers movement. They're all being zip-lipped. Right? Usually they got the biggest mouth. Their mouth's bigger than mine, believe it or not. But they're like this, right? Because they're the chicken Georges. They're the ones who are closer to master on the slave plantation, and they're not going to risk their money or careers anytime something that happens that will significantly take power from the psychopathic few that enslave us, because they like to eat babies.
Yeah, they do. They do. And remember, I told you, what was it? Adrenochrome. Oh, can we say that? Shit.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And soda. Name the rich soda. Call it that.
Okay.
Rich
soda. Cherry soda.
Cherry soda.
Good one. Good one. Good one.
So the cherry
soda.
soda.
Like, why do these people hate cherry sodas and donuts? They don't like cherry sodas, donuts, Ovaltine. Who are these weird live streamers?
Yeah. They say donuts will turn you into a zombie. They're insane.
I just had Krispy Kreme this morning.
I'm fine. Yeah. So cherry soda, it was first discovered, I think it was in the 1940s, maybe 50s, right? In white rabbits. Follow the white rabbit.
Well, wasn't it like stressed rabbits though? Like weren't they like really scared bunnies? It was the same kind of thing they do with the humans.
White rabbits, and the more they realized it was something in their adrenaline in the back of their neck like they do to people, and they realized the more they were in fear, the stronger the shit was, and then they realized
it's horrifying. It's horrifying. And you know what Mr. Fake Book says? Yeah, because we were talking about Saturday with people. Oh, because he's also part of it. He says, yeah, I don't like the screaming from but the soda cherry is so yummy. Mr. Fuckerberg. It's awful. I mean, I cannot hear it anymore. You know, the fake book guy, the one who run it, yeah.
He said fuck him.
He loves that cherry soda. And another from the famous one. It's awful. They have no morals. They're like devils.
Yeah.
They're devils. They are devils. Sorry. I cannot. These are not creatures.
Yes.
These are not human beings.
No.
And then
I don't think humans are capable of that.
Yeah. But if people say to me, you have to go have compassion, I said, no. I have no compassion with such creatures. Imagine if your child is a victim of that treatment. I would kill all the world. I would be able to kill. I would be able to become someone like that. I would really, no parent can handle that. No parent. I don't think so. I mean, other than must be the holiest of the holiest of the holiest. Yeah, that's really horrifying. But okay, it happens and it will finish. I'm 100% sure. After 24, we are building up nicely and in a nice speed.
Oh, on a better horizon.
Yeah, wherever we are, it's just 2 years we have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 2 years we have to go to the struggle. And we have to be as peaceful among us, as for sure. Because if we go down vibrational, we die too. Because the things earthwise, everything is really upgrading. And they know if we are really also down with our morals or feeling depressed or whatever, we cannot rise either. So that's we have to see beauty. We have to that's why I like to read the beauty books. I want to see beautiful paintings. I want to see nice people, happy children, go to a
nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
So we have to do that between all and then witness what is happening and rise above.
That's right.
But not getting.
It's funny you say that because in the Hermetica, when I was looking through, it says like about how the mind is all and the all is God, and like so. To like knows like, so to know God, you have to become like God, right? And that it's through the mind that you do that. So if you're always seeing and hearing and talking and speaking negative things, you're not gonna know God. You're not gonna have peace.
Yeah.
You have to fill your mind with more positive things. It's not to be ignorant to the horrors of the world.
My guru says like this, be like a monkey. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I only want to have fun. She says that sometimes. But
that's my whole life.
The good ways of being a monkey. Monkey, yeah, they're like, and just being like, prank with other people, make nice fun. But don't close your eyes, close your ears, and close your mouth, but in a way that those negativity don't get you, not in a way that you hide, but those negativity doesn't get you.
Ask Gerard, right? What does my brain do? Oh, that's really inappropriate. Say it anyway. It's funny. Right?
Yes. You got to be free.
That's some of the things I said.
No, actually, I was not. I was not at all. It was confirming that she is a Jersey girl. I was thinking that maybe she wasn't from Jersey, but it was very confirmed from the minute that little potty mouth got in the truck when we headed to Texas. She's from Jersey. Don't get caught in an alleyway with this woman and she got an attitude or something and knife and shank or something, because she from Jersey. She doesn't take a whole lot of crap. That's all I'm saying.
Bad feeling, but I don't act on it anymore. That's the difference. That's the growth. It's still there. I just keep it under control.
Yeah, we're going to pretend that statement is true. We're not going to say anything. Nope, she's not acting on it. All right, are we reading something?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Although the conversation is going some fun directions. It's supposed to be about ancient knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, right, real quick though, just to America Before. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay, yeah.
It was one of the Graham Hancock lectures. It's so good.
Oh yeah, send it. Send it on our chat, because otherwise I might miss it.
Yeah. It's so good. The Native Americans, ancient Native Americans of the Mississippi Valley, and the Egyptians, they have like a similar religion. They both Orion was Osiris, and then this hand thing, and in Native America. But anyway, it was all the same locations in the stars, even though they were different things, but they all did the same things. You know what I mean? Like transported, that's where he went after death, and then he went down the Milky Way, and they called it the snake, and then one called it the river, but it's still all the same thing. It was so cool.
Okay, send it.
Yeah, do it. Great.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to read from the Hermetica today. This is chapter 12. It's called The Zodiac and Destiny. God created humans to appreciate the awesome wonder of his universe, to be themselves a beautiful embellishment of the cosmos, and to share in God's creative powers and participate in the work of creation. The heavenly gods, the planets, who had already bestowed on man some of their own power, now urged the Creator to be cautious. They fear that man will use his inquisitive mind for destructive as well as constructive purposes. Man's powers, they complain, are too great and unlimited, and therefore dangerous to himself and the order of the cosmos. As an aside, this really reminds me of the Prometheus story in Greek mythology, when Zeus was afraid that humans would become too powerful. You guys remember that story?
Yeah. Is that not the story of the fallen angels also? Like,
it has a lot of similarities to that story. Let's just say that. And Prometheus, who was a Titan, said, "Bullshit, Zeus. I'm going to give humans fire." And he did.
And circle back around that with that for the Christians and that scripture that Christ said, "Greater things I have done, you will do." And if Christ saved the entire planet and all the souls on it, you can do greater than that, which means that you are a God and goddess, which explains the fear of what human beings actually are, or the spirits.
There may be a correlation between what Jesus intended in that saying and the Prometheus story. Definitely. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, this is why I try to say that and try not to, so people don't get scared away. Like, these are all ancient texts that handed down ancient knowledge and stories. And if you really, really pay attention, a lot of them say a lot of the same things.
Yeah, they do.
They do. But the only difference is
another place identity gets us in trouble.
Yeah. But the thing is that humans get destructive, and the deities, they are not destructive in their own. They don't destroy themselves. We destroy ourselves. And my guru says, heaven is created by the deities, and hell is created by human beings. There's no deity who created hell. She says, nowadays God doesn't create hell. It's not God's work. It's humans' work. It's what we did. We created it, and we created but literally that low vibrational realm where we are not yet, but we are close to it because we're living in that kind of low vibrational 3D world. But those realms are created by human beings. That's the energy we did because of we developed like the sixth sin of which are the head sins, and like the greed and lust and all this kind of stuff. So, but that is
where I'm
not
leaning
like
now. Where I'm leaning now,
what?
Christine, heaven is just a dimension, and hell is just a dimension, and it fits perfectly well with the scientific studies into the multiple dimensions and us existing in all dimensions, and particles exist in all the same dimensions. And everything's an ecosystem. You've got the power, you got the positive and the negative. You've got the yin and the yang. You've got a higher vibrations and lower vibrations, and that maybe the higher dimensions were created, and our negativity, as we're learning, it filters out into the toilet dimensions, right? It's just excrement, and we created those dark dimensions. And this is why we got to be careful with this CERN and all this other stuff we're doing. We're opening dimensions. And I ran into a friend who was talking about how, and he's Christian, so I imagine that, maybe it's a thing now. Sage is from the demon and meditation is bad. And I just said, well, maybe meditation is not bad. Maybe with meditation, you're opening a realm. You're tuning into a dimension. And if you're spiritually mature, you're not letting dark spirits in and to take over you, right? Because Christ meditated.
Do Christians know? Do Christians know that what Christ called prayer is the same concept exactly as meditation?
Yeah, but if
that's what he did in the upper room.
Right, it just is.
When he heated the herbs, he went to the upper room to heat the herbs to meditate.
Yeah, and that's like Rama and his. And Lakshmana and Sita, they survived. They ate herbs in the forest when he got kidnapped because another wanted to be king and he had to go away. But they always survived with good food and natural food, and their mind stays godlike. But our mind doesn't stay godlike. That's why we create unconsciously those dark realms. And that's why we have to meditate well, because it's like you said, if you're not in a good state, and you're going in some other realm, you go to the negative realm. And sometimes if you're too far in it, you cannot get out of it, because those entities there, they will attack you. And that is what my guru always says, you have to be balanced. Otherwise you cannot go to heaven. You have to be balanced. I mean, in those higher realms.
Yeah. Well, I think too, though, that heaven and hell, like we talk about it, we refer to it, in my opinion, we have it all wrong. Like, where I believe there's other realms and stuff like that, right? But I think heaven and hell is just a reference to what we create here on earth.
Yeah.
Like, we can create heaven on earth. The Bible says you get 1,000 years of it after they kill all the bad people.
Yeah. They will be destroyed. I mean,
Right.
No, but the energy that is lasting from those darkness that is creating the other realm. That's the energy. We do it here by doing, and then we leave that energy behind of people if you go out darker. And that is actually, you create a space in universe which is dark. And that is, I think. And then we talk, but if we are balanced, it cannot influence. It cannot touch us. Even if we die, and whatever we do, we are balanced. We go to the higher. I mean, we lift up in a higher frequency. But if we start hating and all this kind of stuff, that's why sometimes it's getting too heavy to read and to know. You have to get out of it and do something else. I mean, that's what I do.
Right.
Well, that's why, like, okay, because that's what I was going to say too, right? Creating heaven on earth or whatever. Like, we really don't get it. Like I kind of get it and I don't get it, right? Because if you think about it, right? If I'm a balanced, well-balanced individual, that acts out of a state of compassion and love, like at least 90% of the time, right? Then that creates a certain reality around me, right? And then those people around me, let's like they all are balanced and acting out of that state, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then in this space around us right now, like the internet would be really different. Child porn wouldn't exist on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we would still have the things we have, but we would use them way differently. So like, damn it, what was I gonna say? And we don't get that with like when I say create heaven on earth and everything, it literally goes back to like, so I'm a balanced, right? Because if we were all as a collective, individually well-balanced human beings, we wouldn't have to have a protest. You know what I mean? Like our world would be much different. Our society would be different. We wouldn't say, oh, okay, we can have 10% daily amount of toxic metal in my food. It's okay. None of that would happen. So we literally create in our minds because that's what happens. You have the thought.
It's quantum physics.
And then your behavior dictates what you're going. It's this whole connection thing.
To that, it's true, it's quantum physics, but again, our mind receives those negativity. It's not in us, and that's why we have to protect ourselves. That's what you did that live stream long time ago from We Are the Receiver.
Oh wow, that was a long time ago. That was based in Bruce Lipton and the biology of belief that we have receptors, we're receivers, and all the scientific evidence behind that we're television sets more than
That's why sometimes you have to do a protect and shield. You have to engulf you with light because those negative energies cannot enter you because it's always coming from outside actually because that's the demons come into your head.
Yes.
And that's why people kill themselves because the demons tell that. I mean, that energy, whatever.
Like in that example, the human being is an RC car, and you just got a signal that's coming in. And if you've got someone else that has the same frequency, they can take over your body and do those things. And this is the basis behind demon possessions and the movie K-Pax. But they just hack your signal.
Okay, but they hack our signal every fucking day through the internet and through the TV. And then like when I say the Matrix, right? Like literally these people show us what they want us to think about and dream and create. And then we create somebody else's dream in reality for them. And that's like, if I grew up with no TV, no internet ever in the middle of the forest reading books and eating off the land, I'd be a hell of a lot different person than I am now, right? We would treat each other differently. I probably wouldn't think everybody's about to be a zombie, right? I would treat people, So that's what I'm saying. Like we are, when I say spellcast it and we are receivers, look at what we receive every day. That's why we have to stop getting that out of our face so our minds can actually be free and do what we want to do.
Be aware of it.
TV is a weapon of mass destruction. Turn the TV off, right? They literally create the world they want by showing us what they want us to manifest on their television set. Absolutely.
We're living in someone else's dream. Do you know how frustrating that is? That is so wrong. I don't want to live in someone else's dream.
It's a nightmare.
I want to live in my own dream because it has butterflies and pretty shit.
Is there a comma in there? Is it pretty and shite go together?
It's actually an apostrophe shit in shit. Let me add.
We're aware of it, and that makes also a big difference.
You talk about television and other vehicles of insidious mind control. That shit wouldn't work if it wasn't seductive. How does it looks good, but it is bad. It appears on the surface to be good. Now, why? Why are so many human beings attracted to the dark? Because of ignorance. Because they don't see that seductive thing is ultimately self-destructive, will ultimately consume you and the entire world that buys into it. It will destroy everything it touches. And that is the knowledge that the universe is trying to teach us right now. That destructive force, Kali Yuga, whatever you want to call it, is ultimately it is the snake that's going to eat its own tail. Mm-hmm. In literature, you have evil. It gets so much power and it gets so top heavy. What does it do? It collapses.
Yeah, it destroys itself.
It destroys itself always, and that's the knowledge, the wisdom that should come at the end of Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
And
that is what the deities know. I mean, they are deities. They watch that game and they use the tool of the evil to destroy the evil. Let the evil destroy themselves.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Our job is simply not to have anything to do with it. Do not comply with it. Disobey it. Yeah. Disobey.
And laugh with it. You have to make humor about it.
Laugh at it. Laugh at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes make
like
jokes
the trucker protest.
Right.
They Canadians know how to put a lot of humor into a protest. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to agree though with Susan, because I'm not a protest person. I'm not a peaceful protest person. I don't believe in going and begging government for anything, because they literally don't. They're not the author of our rights. Going to beg them for anything. To me, what I like about the truckers is they're standing down, right? I don't like the protest part. I understand it, but they're standing down. They're walking away from their jobs. They're walking away from their income because they have a serious grievance with those who are enslaving them.
Well, going of it and the people and I believe, only a handful are government officials. The rest are really there because they believe in something. I'm with that. I think we need more of that unity and stuff. I just think it's more like, in a pub, like the founding fathers, and instead of getting a militia together, we just start our own energy grid. We raised 10 million for the truckers. Yeah. Why can't we raise 10 million? Like that's what I mean. We would never make enough to build our own energy grid across the country. But can you imagine even like half a state or like 4 counties in a state? What a freaking statement that makes to the government. The holy shit, they're building their own energy grids now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're building their own internet. Oh my God, they just bought this much farmland. Yeah, they would lose their shit because they would be like, holy shit, the people are really taking stuff back. But
voluntary cooperation, voluntarism, real libertarianism.
And this is where you just go do it. You don't worry about what other people are doing. You just go do it. You tell them, hey, listen, we're going to go make our own power grid. Maybe you should too, but we're gone. And then just go do it. That. That's all they're afraid of. All they're afraid of is the slaves who actually start to realize that they don't need the masters. They don't need the Donald Trumps. They don't need the Joe Bidens. They don't need the Senates and the Congress and the governments. That they're adults. They can actually do these things themselves. That, hey, listen, we can all do it together if it's free. But if you're going to use it to enslave me and require I be a slave to corporations or a guinea pig, or I pick their cotton, or I take the rubber out the trees for them, then no, you can keep your little control slave grid. I'm going to go make my own. That's the beautiful thing about living in the world today is being dependent is a choice. We can be independent anytime we want. We just have to go do it.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing I love about Thoreau. He showed us how easy it was. And it still is easy.
Oh, it's easier. A hell of a lot. All of this right here, my Wi-Fi, the power, all the stuff that's going. This is all stuff that's just made from independent technology or technology that's independent of the grid.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very easy to do nowadays. We're just lazy. And, I think people get upset. A protest starts. They start donating money. And they're literally playing Monopoly by Monopoly's rules. You're never going to beat the board maker if you play by their rules. You have to actually stop, do research, look at what they want from you the most, and break their rules. Or you'll never get off the slave plantation obeying the masters.
In the game of Monopoly, who wins every game? The bank. The bank is always richer at the end of the game than it is at the beginning. Always, 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody follows the rules.
Yeah, I never liked doing Monopoly. I always said,
pick the board up and turn it over. That's that, and that's what I appreciate about the trucker protest. to a degree outside the protesting part. They're picking up the board and they're turning it over. And it's all going to go the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Because
going the way it's
when
supposed
the slaver pushes hard enough, even the most slaves that endear their master and they love the banking system and they love their house and they love their jobs, even the worst slave-minded people are going to step up. And when that happens,
and that's the meaning. That's the whole meaning. So it's
like right now, the beautiful thing is it's not about mandates anymore. They've killed people. They're throwing them in prison. They're freezing their bank accounts. The people literally followed the rules, got on their knees, went and begged their government with a grievance. And the government said, F you. We're going to freeze your bank accounts, throw you in jail, steal your trucks, beat up your grandparents, trample you with horses. They literally declared war on people who are just saying, please help us. And this is the effect this is what you get for following the rules. You cannot follow slave master's rules. You are a slave. And so, but the beautiful thing again about the Canadian truckers is they're waking a lot of people up. They're doing what they feel impassioned to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really making people wonder, should we continue with this corporation ruled planet?
Yes. And now their spirit will be awakened too, because they go behind and I mean, that's also the beauty of it. People start seeking, what is this life about? So it raises questions and questions. And that is actually why the deities keep this going on, because they want the people to wake up.
Yes.
So they make things much more worse. So, okay, this is not working. We have to have another kind of pathway we have to go as human beings. So in a way, it's beautiful what's happening, but of course, people die and suffer.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Gerard, when you said you get mad and you flip the game over. Well, guess what? Then mom comes in and yells at everybody, and you get punished while she cleans up the game, which is exactly what they want. Just exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's why protesting not work. Just don't play. Just don't play the game. That's all you have to do. And that's another thing. Has anyone ever read The Art of War? You never fight a war on the enemy's territory by the enemy's rules when you're outnumbered by the enemy.
Exactly.
Being exactly where the enemy expects you. Being exactly where the enemy expects you.
Great film. And the end of the film is, it's a lesson about the futility of war, especially nuclear war.
Which
and the
film?
Computer, the war games, and the computer is a sentient computer, and it learns at the end of the movie. It finally learns that it doesn't make any sense, and it says, it says it appears the only winning move is not to play.
Not to play. Yeah.
And people are realizing that, and that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why everything is going to change. We are in a great reset. And the option always was, are we resetting to become digital slaves and totally controlled by social credit score and all the new shackles that they want to create for us?
Oh my God, that's a monster.
God, wow.
Yeah, or are we going to reboot it?
When did he come onto the scene? Like, where did that guy come from? You know what I mean? I've been on Planet 45 years. I only heard from like 3 years ago. And all of a sudden,
me too.
Like, the Dark Imperial Lord of the Empire. What happened? Where did he come from?
He's been there hiding.
He came from the place. He came from the dimension where they eat babies, Susan. You know the answer.
I know it.
Yeah, it's
like, and when you look them up, you only get basic shit, some basic lie ass shit. There's no way you're just an economy professor. Now you run the World Economic Forum and you talk like Hitler with some freaking. Have you seen that thing? It's all black and it's got like eagle emblems here and stuff. And he's all like, he's like the Dark Lord.
Yeah, he's the Dark Lord, absolutely, because he has all the governments in his power. He has the United Nations in his power and the AU in his power.
That's what I mean. So where did he come from?
From he's hell. He's
hell.
I don't know where it came from, but we need to save that audio clip of Susan going. That's so perfect. That needs to be our intro. I'm sorry.
It's so horrible.
Sound effects are important. Sound effects matter.
Yes, right, they do.
Oh, you know what else too? There's a protest in Haiti right now. You know why? Because they don't want to pay $5 a day.
They don't want to what?
Yeah, they're protesting.
$5 a day?
Yeah, they're fighting for $5 a day. A day.
Yeah.
They eat mud. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we think we're going to fight a fucking revolution. We're retarded.
And the corporations are woke.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
And the thing is, the funny thing is, Russia and Ukraine don't want war. So now, what does America want to do? They both don't want war. I find it so funny. I mean, come on. But yeah,
even the Ukraine president is like, "Yo, Biden, chill out. I don't want a war.
We don't want war. No, go back."
It doesn't matter. Raytheon does. General Dynamics. You know, BAE System. All the defense contractors want wars. You need to start blowing stuff up. It's how you need to. They don't make money unless they're blowing people up.
Yeah,
you know, and it's not conspiracy. It's just economics. That's how the politicians make money. They take money from corporations and they do what the corporations tell them to do, which is make them money.
Yeah. No, it's Klaus Schwab's plan. We're supposed to fight Russia to make both weak. China, UN take over. We're all credit scored and speaking Mandarin in 2 years.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. No. It's really that their world is crumbling down by minute. Those NDOs.
Yeah.
And they're so desperately. So that, you know what I read? They're trying to do some dark magic to change the time so that they have more time to win back the territorium. I mean, I read it somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's totally nuts. But
well, if you ask me, Christine, they are. I think that's what the Mandela effect is. I think that they've been going back in time, you know, on these Tesla, Einstein, Philadelphia experiment project devices, and they've been changing history. And for some reason, because, you know, our brain, our memories aren't here, right? They get uploaded. This is just a TV set. It's just a receiver. And every now and then you remember what history really, really was, not what they changed it to. And I think, I think that's what the Mandela effect is us remembering that history actually was different than how they've been slowly altering it. And the only reason I think they alter time is to stay in power. They look at all of our protests, where we're going, if we're buying land, if we're getting independence, and they start manipulating and changing things to make it harder for people to do that, because this is the perfect slave plantation and they just don't want to give us up. Why? Which again, and this is back to the point of, this is why everything we fight, it has to be on philosophy. It has to be on the root problems, not on the identities and the side effects and all that BS, because we're fighting an enemy that we can't even see. We can't smell them. We can't touch them. You know, it's spiritual warfare. And then I think these people manipulate time, energy, weather, space, everything, including us.
They have a weakness, though. They have a weakness. Our free will. All we have to do is say, fuck you, no, and I'm done. And they can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, just say no, man.
Powerful word.
Just say no.
The most powerful word is no. 2 letters, the most powerful word. Right. You know, when they come to your door, hi, we're from the government. We like no. Hi, we're corporations. We're thinking no. We like you to take no. Will you come? No. That's all you got to do is say no.
Yeah.
And all this goes to an end.
Yeah, someone said in a talk, how you forget, guys, with the fighting against the digital things. We are humans with a soul. You might be, I don't know what, robots without a soul, but we are humans with a soul, so you can go. Very shortly said, I think it was wonderful. We are humans with a soul. The soul cannot be manipulated. The soul never can. Maybe we might not be aware of it,
Right.
When we are aware of it, we are powerful, more powerful. But yes, they can never. We can never be robots if we don't know. We have a soul. We die if we get a robot. If they make robots of, we die. That's just it.
Y'all realize all this came from like 4 sentences of the Hermetica?
There's one chapter. Yeah.
You want to continue?
We're going to read the whole chapter.
Okay, it's not long. I mean, the Hermetica is not long at all. So you want to continue?
Let's jump into a little bit more of it.
Okay, all right. So God responds to their concerns by creating the zodiac. This celestial mechanism will control the fate of men and be ruled over by the goddess Destiny. She sows the seeds of a person's fate, which grow and develop under the constraints of necessity, the limits and demands of physical nature to shape every human life. It is man's lot to live the life prescribed for him by his fate. Very few human beings are capable of escaping from the determining influence of the zodiac. Man's earthly life is controlled by the power of destiny through the physical limitations of the mortal human body. However, if a man's mind is illuminated by the light of God, he becomes free from these celestial influences. For even the gods, yes, we're supposed to transcend everything.
Yeah, that's what my guru
transcend the
says.
zodiac.
Astrology has no power if you're ascending in your spiritual power.
Yes.
But don't think you are already there, she says.
Right.
Better know.
Yes. Yeah. Keep your eyes on the ground right underneath your feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
For even the gods are powerless before God. Hermes teaches that it is our duty to not simply to acquiesce in our fate, but rather through intense contemplation of God to rise above our merely mortal nature and awaken our immortal soul. When the Creator had created this beautifully ordered universe, he wanted to order the world also. So he sent down man, a mortal creature, made in the image of an immortal being, to be an embellishment of the divine body of the cosmos. It is man's function to complete the work of Atum. He was made to view the universe with awe and wonder, and to come to know its maker. At first, the heavenly gods complained, saying, "You are being rash in creating humanity. They see with inquisitive eyes and hear what they have no right to hear. They reach out with audacious hands. They will dig up the roots of plants and investigate the properties of stones. They will dissect the lower animals and one another also. They will seek to discover how it is that they are alive and what is hidden within. They will cut down the woods of their native land and sail across the sea to see what lies there. They will dig mines and search the uttermost depths of the earth. All this might be bearable, but they will do much more. They will press on to explore the world above, seeking by observation to discover the laws that govern the movements of the heavens." Atum replied, "I will build the zodiac, a secret mechanism in the stars linked to unerring and inevitable fate. The lives of men, from birth to final destruction, shall be controlled by the hidden workings of this mechanism." And when the mechanism began to work, the keen-eyed goddess, Destiny, supervised and checked its movements through this mechanism. Destiny and necessity are cemented together. Destiny sows the seed. Necessity compels the results. In the wake of destiny and necessity comes order, the interweaving of events in time. Atum implants each human soul in flesh by means of the gods who circle in heaven. It is man's lot to live his life according to the fate determined for him by these circling celestial powers, and then to pass away and be resolved into the elements. There are some whose name will live on through the memorials of their mighty handiwork, but the names of the many will fade into darkness. Few can escape their fate or guard against the terrible influence of the zodiac, for the stars are instruments of destiny, which bring all things to pass in the world of men. If, however, the rational part of a man's soul is illuminated by a single ray of Atum's light. The workings of these gods is as nothing. For all gods are powerless before the supreme light. But such men are few. Most are led and driven by the gods which govern earthly life, using our bodies as the instruments of destiny. To my way of thinking, however, it is our duty not simply to acquiesce in our human state, but through intense contemplation of divine things, to detach ourselves from our merely mortal nature. Just what we were saying. It's I think he's saying, what we said earlier in the cast is that this is a simulation, a test. It's a lesson. The point is to learn the lesson so that you can leave the lesson, so that you can really truly become free.
Yeah.
Well, it said, if even a rational part of a man's soul is illuminated by a single ray of Adam's light, the workings of these gods is nothing, for all gods are powerless before the supreme light, right? Which I'm going to take as we can become as powerful, even more powerful than the gods. Not God, but all the gods, like Zeus gods. And then we get our own universe.
And then we get our universes. We can create our own universes. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not that ambitious. Not yet.
I want to do it collectively, but why can't we all focus on good shit?
Yeah, we do. We should, but that's a bit too far reached now. If I can be peaceful for a week and I can increase my peace, I will be already very happy.
Egyptian Book of the Dead said heaven is of your own creation. So I'm creating.
Yeah, true. It is. It is. It is.
I think it's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be dragons. There's gonna be everything I love.
So to answer the question, yes, it's the Hermetica that we were reading. And no, you don't ever want to go to Susan's universe. You don't probably want to go there. A lot of weird and crazy things going to be happening in that universe.
Oh, it's going to be
swimming unicorns, mermaids with dinosaur tails, pyramids that are energy fountains that blow planets up. No, I think you might want to rethink that. That's going to be like the Upside Down, but Disney version.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have Vikings and Celts.
Oh yeah.
And Druids.
Yep. Just when you thought you were asleep, here come the Vikings.
Oh, there's gonna be all kinds of happening at the same time. Great.
Here comes somebody and a guy in a bunny skirt with his testicles out with a sword and a axe. Yep. Susan's dream. That's a nightmare for some of us.
No.
That's a nightmare.
No, in my universe, everybody knows if they're a girl or boy.
That's it. See, that's how tyranny begins. That's exactly how tyranny starts.
My universe.
There can only be two genders. Can't be four. No threes. No 2.5s.
I went through a lot of shit to get that universe.
Which is why we are gods and goddesses, and this is a simulation of a creation. The universe is a perfect learning machine. We are here to learn. It's the perfect software. God is a programmer, whatever God is, and we're here to learn. We're not here to make money. We're not here to collect trash. We're not here to get a bigger house than your neighbor. We're here to learn. And a lot of people aren't learning. What's beautiful about that is you got to go out and experience the world to learn. You literally have to travel. You literally have to go explore. You got to go for walks in nature. You got to engage with the world to learn. If you're like how I used to be, work, coffee shop, a place where I buy my suits, place where I drink my beer, and back home, you're wasting your life. You're literally wasting your life away. Every day you had an opportunity to do some serious learning. You just followed your little game trail like an animal. And that's not what we are.
Nope. we just keep, that's the other thing. Revolution just means to revolve, means circle back. That's all revolution really is. And if you think about it, because I didn't even make that connection till recently, right? What was the American Revolutionary War? That was to break away from England, right? And then what did the Act of 1871 do? Sell us back to the Bank of England. So revolution, you just revolved. We just circled back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's stop
true.
doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like you turn the wheel, and guess what? The wheel don't stop spinning until that hamster flings himself off. Okay, it's gonna hurt.
Right.
We're gonna get a little roughed up, but we can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the word revolution, I mean, you know, and this is where we are with the Great Reset, right? Like what they want is they want a civil war. They want the stupid, silly subjects of Rome to turn against each other and fight each other over absolutely nothing important. What we really need is a revolution, you know, stressing the word love. We need to reset the system back to human sovereignty, not corporation sovereignty. You know, and that's the conflict that we have right now. You know, if we actually have a revolution, you know, defying corporate, you know, slave masters and giving sovereignty back to human beings, then this is a great resetting of freedom. You know, an amazing thing for the planet and the human race. If we go along with this, you know, these little stupid, little silly ideas of civil wars, America fighting Russia and the Ukraine fighting Russia and blacks fighting whites and whites fighting blacks and Christian versus Muslim, all the little ignorant side effects, then all they're going to do is reset us into a new digital prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know, we're just proving that we're wild animals. We're proving that we're not fit to survive and that they do need to enslave us and treat us like human livestock. Right. Because we haven't learned.
Bottom line, if we do not rule ourselves, we will be ruled.
Yeah, that is. If you don't, if you don't choose, they choose for you.
Yes. Yeah. The universe will not accept a power vacuum. You're going to choose for yourself what you are, take responsibility for your own total freedom and all of the responsibility that comes with that, or someone else is going to put handcuffs on you in the mind or on the body or both. Bottom line. That's it. Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Let's wrap it up, people. I got doo-doo to shovel. I got some doo-doo to put in the garden.
Okay.
Cows left me some presents.
It's okay. We have nice vegetables then soon.
Yeah, right.
That's good. It happens
and they're organic.
Cows need to be there to get fertile ground, so you have a big greenhouse and a lot of vegetables, and we can eat a lot.
That's the dream. That is the dream. Living free, living independent, producing for yourself, just completely walking away from their system. Mostly everything but water. That's the only thing I'm not going to walk away from the system for yet, because water is very dangerous. You know, cleaning water, filtering water. So anyway, somebody want to put a summary on this?
Be a good person. You get your own universe.
You don't have anybody in it who eats babies.
Yeah. And everyone in government, probably Hollywood, I don't know, and the ones that we don't know about, they all eat babies. They do. They eat old people.
And that's not a good thing, right? Just to be sure, eating babies is not a good thing. You're not supposed to eat babies. You're supposed to play with them, play with their mouth. Do that. Feed them. Don't drop bombs on them either. That's another bad idea.
Can you imagine one generation being raised actually free? Like how fast our world would change. Like where we're like, you're free to explore the world and be you and not be bombarded by evil radio spellcasting waves all day.
Yeah.
They would be.
Well, that's what I think. We should have children till 3 through 5 years old. All the adults has to go away and all the angels has to raise the children. That's
they really have to work hard to keep us as stupid as we are now.
I know.
Because
John, I was just thinking about that. It took thousands of years to get us to a point where we agree that corporations should be allowed to inject things in us that we don't even know what it is. It took thousands of years to create slaves. It's horrible. But like you said, it only takes one generation. Human beings love freedom, and by default, they will reboot back. It'll take them another 3,000 years to break us down into the shells of humans that we are right now. It only takes one free generation, and that genie will be out the box for hundreds, if not thousands of years, or hopefully permanently.
Yeah, golden year is for, I think that will change the universe anyhow. Now, because we finally get the game.
It has to learn. And what does it have to learn? It has to learn that you have to accept responsibility for your own freedom.
Yeah.
And that is ultimately preferable to the bullshit that we've just been through.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the amazing grace falls upon you.
Mm-hmm.
There are no heroes. Donald Trump isn't going to do it for you. Joe Biden's not going to do it for you. Oprah, whoever y'all are thinking about next, Geraldo Rivera. This is work you got to do yourself. The truckers aren't going to do it for you. We all have to stand up and do it ourselves and stop with this idea that we can sit back and be lazy and vote and somebody else is going to do the right thing. These are things we all have to get up and go do ourselves. If you don't like the system, you got to walk away from it. You can't be a user of it. You have to walk away.
I was thinking about it, right? So if there's God's Mementi or even the, judgment at the gates and all that stuff, right? If there is a judgment after death, right? And you get up there, okay?
You should.
Right? Would they be like, well, there was a government that killed millions of people and you voted. Why did you keep voting for it? And they're like, oh, it's the lesser two evils. Do you think God will be like, oh, okay, we choose the lesser evil? Evil's evil, right? Right? So that's the thing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it was a little bit of evil. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you think about it like that on a scale like that, it's different because then your choices become more. That's what I mean. Even I learned about emojis in the Seals of Solomon or something, and I feel like a bad person if I use an emoji. I can't learn anything because then it makes me
emojis and a Caesar salad.
Wait, emoji.
Anyhow,
emojis and a Caesar salad. What?
The thing is, on the end, you judge yourself. You judge yourself, and if you're not raised enough, you have to go to learn a lesson. There's no other choice.
Right.
All right. I gotta go.
Right.
I gotta get out of here. My back's hurting. I gotta get up. Huh?
I said
I got Bob Wire to fix and cow poop and a back to stretch out before it gets dark. All right, everybody. Good to see you. Certainly appreciate you. This is Christine and Susan, Jonathan, and Gerard. Y'all have a wonderful day now. Mosey back on about this way at another time.